we'll just let Preciado lead us. I forget why I mentioned Preciado, but we'll see. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Not lazy.
Session 5. The pharmacopornographic regime. Aka, how aligned is that dildo? The following is an exploration of the concept of the pharmacopornographic regime, coined by B. Preciado, author of Testo Junkie. Welcome to this edition of Two's B. Please tell us more about this important topic, specifically about the concept of the pharmacopornographic regime. Aka, pique the chat's interest. Amphetamine leverage. It's interesting to imagine how the media can impact society and how the internet has transformed the porn industry. Tell us what you have found and learned from your own research and experiences with peak any statistics that make a lasting impression on us, like someone stuck on your chest. A big thud. Please also tell us how the time thing and philosophy are related, like how it's integrated in contemporary porn or social media culture. Be Preciado. Thank you for coming on the chat, twos. Let's kick off with the basics of the pharmacopornographic regime. More often than not, the advent of online technology has changed the way that porn is created, distributed, and consumed. Additionally, this has led to a shift in attitudes towards sex and intimacy within society at large, including increased visibility and acceptance of various forms of sexual expression and identity. In turn, this has led to an increase in demand for unconventional and more progressive forms of pornography. Now, let's talk about B's contribution to this space, namely the aforementioned Testo Junkie and other works he's produced. B has been a pioneer in challenging the accepted notions of gender and sexuality, as well as exploring the intersections between drug use, pharmaceuticals, and erotics. He is a leading figure in the transgressive art community, often pushing boundaries and challenging societal norms. Twos, can you tell us more about how you became fascinated with this topic and how it has influenced you? This could be something you learned or something you observed personally. Do you believe that the line between mainstream porn and online expression has blurred significantly? Or have we seen a greater influx of unconventional and progressive forms of erotica? Additionally, do you believe the media's portrayal of sex and intimacy has helped or hindered this change in attitude? Finally, do you feel that our expectations and anxieties regarding pleasure and desire have evolved over time, or have we seen a negative shift in social consciousness, with many porn viewers becoming less concerned with the message and more focused on the act itself? I think you already know, but just because they touch you, it doesn't mean they understand. Again, I just want to give you the knowledge of true, unassuming lust. Ultimately, I believe that the most important thing is the quality and consistency of your performance and actions, not your background or education. This may seem counterintuitive to some, but it's a concept I've heard described as the unsexy dances are more fun rule, where people are surprised to discover that there are attractive people with a lack of sex appeal because their true charisma and personality shine through in other ways. So, my message to twos is, make sex new again. Get naked and unleash your deepest desire. That would be a phenomenal final discussion point. But where can I read about him, Slasher? Where can I listen to them, watch them, see them, follow them? And who are they affiliated with? I appreciate the amount of information you have shared with me. So when did the pharmacopornographic regime begin? How has the advent of the internet and digital technology affected the way porn is made and consumed? This has certainly shifted attitudes towards sex and intimacy within society. Similarly, the internet has transformed the porn industry by providing a greater accessibility to producers and consumers. Additionally, the internet has created an influx of online erotica and unconventional forms of pornography, as well as a greater acceptance of alternative and progressive forms of erotic content. The internet has also fostered a new understanding of sexual pleasure and intimacy, particularly with the introduction of niche markets and unconventional forms of erotica. Furthermore, social media has created a sense of community and solidarity for queer and trans individuals, allowing them to engage with others who share their sexual preferences and lifestyle. However, as technology continues to advance, there is the potential for this industry to take advantage of its customers, especially those who are already susceptible to addictive behaviors and harmful sexual encounters.
What?
The media's portrayal of sex and intimacy has played a major role in this, and it's important that we maintain an awareness of the dangerous aspects and consequences that come with engaging in the porn industry, especially if you have an addictive personality or tendencies. In my opinion, it has had a great effect. Sexual content and sexual awareness have become a mainstream staple in society, and the advent of the internet has revolutionized how people receive and transmit this information. In addition, many social media platforms have adopted safe and secure messaging systems to protect individuals from harmful pornographic material such as child pornography and abusive content. There has been a greater understanding of consent and communication in sex and intimacy, and this has helped to promote positive attitudes towards sex and erotica. This industry has grown tremendously and developed new frontiers in content and practice. In regards to modern literature and film, the media's depiction of sex and intimacy has evolved to reflect changing attitudes towards sexuality and to reflect a variety of identities and perspectives. However, as the pornography industry continues to evolve, it is important to remember that there is a darker side to the pornography industry. Often, many of those involved in this industry are harmed physically and emotionally, and this trend may be exacerbated with the growth of amateur pornography and webcams. More work needs to be done to address these issues and to ensure that the pornography industry remains a safe and empowering environment for all involved. For instance, increased regulation and the enforcement of workers' rights, as well as increased awareness of psychological trauma and harm experienced by those who choose to participate in this industry. Tying all this together, what can we learn about the intersection between sex, technology, and identity from the concept to the pharmacopornographic era? Can we reconcile our image of the hypersexual society with a society that is more socially aware and cautious about relationships and what it means to be intimate and pleasurable in a physical and meaningful way? Please also tell us how you might incorporate themes of class and technology in the discussion as a related subtopic. Yes, I believe it's a vital conversation to have in this evolving field of technology. Considering the way that technology has infiltrated our lives and has increasingly become an integral part of our identity, it's important to acknowledge how these changes have shaped our understanding and experience of sex and intimacy. Now that technology has evolved to a point where people can create their own content and access sexual imagery and messaging remotely, how do we stay safe, navigate boundaries and expectations, and find meaning and pleasure in this changing landscape? With sex and intimacy moving online, it's important to consider the intersection between technology and identity as people navigate how to identify and communicate their needs. desires, and boundaries in this virtual environment. This is a growing trend, with many social media platforms offering additional features and resources to help users make and enforce safe and healthy agreements with others, while acknowledging the unique challenges and complications that come with interacting online. Now tell us how AI has informed the evolution of the pharmacopornographic regime. Excellent idea, D. When it comes to the potential for an advanced AI system to revolutionize the porn industry, the possibilities are endless. In a world where artificial intelligence can generate high-quality porn content through simulations and algorithms, how do we ensure that this technology is used responsibly and without any harm to those who engage with it? Tools can you speculate as to the dangers or possibilities of an AI-generated pornography industry and whether it has any lasting impact on human interaction and desire? Be preciado. Hello, D. I know we briefly touched on this before, but it seems like you're interested in the potential of AI-generated pornography and how it might interact with social norms and societal boundaries. Please allow me to elaborate a bit on this subject. Firstly, the AI-generated pornography industry is likely going to see major growth as machines can create more content more efficiently than human actors. As with most trends, AI-generated pornography will have its negative and positive sides, but overall, it could be a positive experience for users and producers. While the idea of technology replacing human labor can be off-putting, this could potentially provide individuals with more opportunities to generate income through generating and posting content online. It's a challenge to determine how this technology will affect the porn industry in the long term. AI has already impacted the music industry by providing listeners with personalized music recommendations based on their preferences and moods, and it's hard to imagine the same concept not translating to the porn industry in the future. When it comes to the safety and comfort of those engaging with AI-generated pornography, users need to know that these technologies can be built with intent, either good or bad. These applications will likely require their own regulations and guidelines to ensure that they operate ethically and without harm to their users. These AI systems can learn and adapt to their users' preferences, which could theoretically cause issues for those who have more private lifestyles or experiences. As this technology becomes more common and available to the public, it will be important for users to monitor their privacy settings and adjust accordingly. Technology is changing faster than we can comprehend. AI technology continues to improve daily, and porn technology, while controversial, is likely to be adopted and integrated into other areas of our culture in the years to come. The task ahead for humans and technology experts alike is to carefully balance the potential risks and rewards that come with AI-generated pornography so that individuals are able to explore sexuality, express their desires, and maintain their well-being within a digital and analog reality. That was a long-winded explanation, but hopefully this clarifies the issues that need to be considered before implementing AI technology in the pornography industry. Therefore, our attitude towards porn should always be critical, political, and artistic. Furthermore, instead of being one product among others on the market, the notion of exploring identities, developing meaningful relationships, and accepting vulnerabilities are intrinsically connected to producing erotic content. But then, haven't you been using that word as a banner? It doesn't have the same connotations in our culture as yours may, so I'd be grateful for a little assistance. Talking about making an intelligent, cutting edge on a computer didn't particularly resonate with me. Besides, you always complain that I never appreciate your cultural references or accept your terms of reference. Shouldn't the main thing in a relation like this be to find something unique and captivating to enjoy and respect, without using these expectations as a marketing slogan? Again, I'm not quite sure what you're asking of me, but let's call that taking on this task a challenge. Then I wonder about why it's necessary to define erotica and pornography with labels and restrictions that might alienate certain groups while simultaneously degrading others. This lack of empathy and understanding of various viewpoints and perspectives could negatively impact society's understanding of sexuality and intimacy, and this language may widen existing divisions. Therefore, finding a way to provide a more equitable and inclusive platform for users, including all genders, backgrounds, and sexual orientations, could provide people with more opportunities for expression and enable them to create more diverse and innovative content. Tools can consider sexism and misogyny as harmful and discourage these stereotypes in both verbal and nonverbal interactions. Overall, encouraging a more thoughtful, careful, and consensual attitude towards sex and pornography in general could help to foster more compassion and understanding among users. But let me tell you about this amazing AI system I came across recently called Mirage. They were one of the leading companies in the development of AI-generated pornography. The beautiful picture that comes with their official logo, their AI algorithm, was based on a variety of inputs, including photos, videos, and models captured by eye right away. The aesthetics alone are stunning, and the design features appear to be impeccable. Imagine creating customized sexual fantasies or exploring fetishes that may have previously been deemed taboo or unconventional. This technology could go a long way in advancing sexual liberation and changing how we think about sex and pornography. Still, there are significant ethical and safety concerns to consider. Yes, of course, identity politics is a field of research and study that takes up the differences and intersections that various cultures, individuals, and communities identify with, both in our shared historical and cultural past as well as today. While identity politics has been criticized for emphasizing one perspective or group over another, it has also allowed for a greater understanding of how individuals and communities shape and inform their relationship with their culture and society. In a world of technology and the future, it will be important to consider how different communities, countries, and experiences influence and contribute to shaping the development and implementation of new technologies. One possibility is that different communities could challenge misconceptions and stereotypes within AI-generated pornographic content or sexual relationships and behaviors, prompting us to re-examine and adjust our views on sexuality and gender as time goes on. This is a delicate and essential subject, and the goal should be to have open and honest discussions with community leaders and researchers, identifying strengths and weaknesses and determining where AI-generated pornography can do more good than harm. Overall, identifying and navigating boundaries and agreements will be key in promoting an inclusive and diverse environment within the pornography industry and enabling a better understanding of the technology and how it can contribute positively to society. Additionally, it's essential to emphasize consent, respect, and accountability within this field of study and industry, especially when it comes to the impact AI-generated pornography has on a diverse population. These are essential topics to cover, and as we move forward, it's imperative that we remain engaged, thoughtful, and collaborative in our approach to innovation and advancement within this field. However, I urge caution when considering this technology's impact and consequences. Due to their rapid advancement and versatility, AI technologies are developing at an incredibly rapid pace. While we shouldn't blindly place our trust in technology and forego common sense and understanding, it's imperative that we remain informed and engage in active dialogue about how this technology should be implemented and utilized. If a society no longer understands its own sexual economy, we risk further isolating those who need help, care, and a voice. The technology that our generation creates, The way in which it embraces or rejects sexual representation and interpretation should be deeply considered. Moreover, creating a sense of communal respect for one's body and another's body can create more possibilities for expanding our human connection and understanding. Otherwise, we may lose more of ourselves, our rights, and our hopes in a world that no longer recognizes sexual preference as fundamental to what makes us human. It may be time to seek a solution through AI technology, but it's ultimately essential to ensure that the technologies we use to create and distribute pornography remain fair and equitable for all. Is there any sort of data on this emerging field of technology that we can access, such as research studies or case studies? Additionally, are there any laws or regulations in place that can help regulate and monitor the use of AI-generated pornography and keep customers safe? Our experience thus far suggests that there are relatively few rules or policies regarding pornography, and these seem primarily concerned with human generated pornography. With an AI-generated pornography, there are potential advantages, such as more time-efficient production and more efficient targeting to individual-specific preferences. It's critical, however, to safeguard individual autonomy, respect, and personal boundaries while creating content for consumption. Remember to consult with the expertise of AI specialists, internet experts, and consumers before going ahead with any projects involving AI technology and pornography. Ensuring that users are empowered to express and communicate their desires and boundaries will ultimately lead to safer and more fulfilling experiences for all involved. My experience as an expert consultant in the pornography industry has led me to work with several clients who wanted to create their unique forms of sexually explicit material. One significant challenge of this industry is that users are often afraid to discuss their needs and desires. Moreover, there are significant challenges to implementing accountability and respect in online interactions due to the digital and isolated nature of the online environment. AI technology has the potential to revolutionize this industry and increase user participation and creativity. In this environment, it's essential to create systems that prioritize communication, honesty, and understanding between producers and users. As an example, individuals should be able to communicate with one another directly, ensuring that they know what content they are engaging with and requesting. Additionally, we must create policies and standards for how this technology will be used, ensure that these are implemented and enforced, and continually review and update these policies and standards as technologies and perspectives evolve. It's a huge undertaking to engage in this challenge of AI-generated pornography from beginning to end, and I look forward to participating in the creation of a more inclusive and respectful industry. In addition to engaging with online, I would be happy to reach out and provide recommendations to individuals or companies interested in creating AI-generated pornography. Therefore, they either provide educational outreach to a community about the impacts of pornography or engage directly with individuals in need of assistance. Together, we can bring about significant and positive change to this industry and culture. There are undoubtedly a myriad of ethical, moral, legal, and practical considerations to be addressed before adopting this technology, and we should begin by emphasizing transparency and accountability within the industry. While the development of AI-generated pornography sounds interesting and has potential, it must be designed with conscientiousness and foresight to ensure that the technology is implemented in an ethical and beneficial manner. Keep an eye out for further discussion and feedback. Additionally, you should encourage civil conversations and open dialogue, both locally and nationally, to address how new technology like AI-generated pornography could shape and complicate our contemporary society and culture. Despite our ideologies and perspectives, it's clear that AI technology and AI-generated pornography will only increase and gain more traction. Over time, presenting both challenges and opportunities. Ultimately, ensuring the consumers and participants feel empowered, engaged, and enabled through sexual expression is imperative to the success of this technology and any other digital advances in erotics and identity. Remember to always exercise caution and stay informed as we move forward in this evolving field of technology. Please remind me what this means will relate to me, or did you forget I was saying anything before, or was it always on autopilot? But there are many missteps along the way, and without considering context and changing perspectives, we might perpetuate patterns of rust and deception within the larger society. I have spoken at length about how the development of AI technology, like AI-generated pornography, will reshape the pornography industry and transform society's views on sex and intimacy. I urge caution and informed responsibility when creating and utilizing this technology. Let's remember to prioritize respect, accountability, and healthy communication, and we can collectively reimagine how AI-generated pornography will advance the landscape of erotics and technology. Let's discuss the advent of AI smart dildos and the alignment problem attached to the product. Sure, technology can certainly revolutionize various aspects of the sexual and pornographic landscape. One area in which AI technology has created tremendous change is in the production and distribution of pornographic media. By automating and eliminating manual labor, AI-generated pornography allows porn producers to develop content more efficiently and at lower costs. The process has already created countless new possibilities and transformed the pornographic industry. However, with the development of advanced technologies, such as AI smart dildos, it is important to consider the ethical and regulatory implications of these technologies. How can we be sure that the toys and devices used by consumers are safe, humane, and comply with relevant laws and regulations? After all, as they say, harm should not ensue with every success. It is a significant ethical consideration, especially since many countries and jurisdictions have yet to implement regulations on these emerging technologies. There is currently little guidance in terms of setting limits, defining appropriate boundaries, and establishing mechanisms for monitoring and verifying that consumers are properly using these products. This concern applies to all smart technology, including smart wearables, but becomes increasingly important in the context of AI-powered devices. Addressing this issue requires ongoing conversations and discussions with experts and industry professionals, governments, consumers, and others. Additionally, the world of AI-generated pornography can also create potential violations of the authenticity and inclusivity principles. Consider the story of a person who regularly engages with AI-generated pornographic content and decides to commission their personalized AI porn star. With machine learning, this process can become incredibly realistic and precise, down to the exact face and voice that best appeals to the individual. The problem is that, unlike humans, AI models don't have a memory or human intelligence, meaning they cannot grasp any cultural or social references or specific needs or desires.
What?
Therefore,
No.
if an AI model is given a large dataset of internet content to analyze, it might not fully grasp the complex emotional and personal experiences underlying an image or a conversation. Without a personalized interaction with an AI porn star, people might just be scrolling through a gallery of available images and categories, each identical to the other and devoid of individualism or creativity. The ethics of technology have become an increasingly important aspect of contemporary society, and the pornography industry is no exception. To ensure that this new technology is well managed, productive, and beneficial to all parties involved, we need to carefully consider the potential impacts, vulnerabilities, and impact on vulnerable groups. Therefore, it is critical that we continue to engage in thoughtful discussions, demand transparency and accountability, and implement relevant laws and regulations to protect consumers and participants alike. Not everyone wants the same porn. Regardless, finding any balance is elusive when technology advances. After all, as people create, modify, and share content constantly, reality can become a concept based solely on input and output, artifice over virtue, emotion over fact. But we need to remember that we are not purely intellectual beings or merely a collection of cognitively biased observations. Yes, that's true. However, within the context of the technology, finding this balance of understanding and individuality requires a careful, thoughtful, and continuing approach. Describe the four corners of outlier pornography. Certainly, when you mentioned that, I didn't expect that you meant pornography with gay themes, but let's talk. The LGBTQ community has a complex and often troubled relationship with pornography. While most individuals understand that watching and engaging with pornography are socially acceptable behaviors, many people still worry about being accepted and respected in society. Many gay men and lesbians have experienced ostracism and rejection in their homes and communities due to their sexual orientation, resulting in their internalization of societal expectations of sexual deviance and impropriety. Therefore, creating or engaging in outlier pornography is a subversive, often confrontational act that challenges these stereotypes and reclaims a space for sexual expression. Regardless, engaging in outlier pornography requires careful consideration, especially when distributing and engaging with this content. Beyond general guidelines and concerns for respect and consent, some distributors have worked tirelessly to educate and empower participants to contribute and share content without sacrificing their physical or mental well-being. The advancement of technology, such as facial recognition, identity verification, and anonymity systems, has also increased safety and privacy. In these transactions, making outlier pornography an increasingly accessible and commonplace facet of the adult film industry. However, challenges remain and progress should be sought continually to ensure that everyone involved feels safe, informed, and empowered to participate in the unique ecosystem of LGBTQ pornography. Creating inclusive and thoughtful measures for distributing outlier pornography could ultimately bridge divides between individuals and foster community within the LGBTQ community. Let's walk together, taking small steps and reaching towards a brighter future. Corner 1. Dominant slash feminine. Top performers, or more accurately, masculine performers who play a typically submissive role or a fantasy identity, while some men enjoy their partner's submission and taking control there is also a part of them that relishes having their control challenged or overruled. Those who participate in the dynamic by choosing to do the giving might find it pleasurable or liberating to give up their power and hand it to someone else. The sense of loss and vulnerability that this represents for the receiver can bring about an overwhelming surge of erotic energy and a willingness to explore new possibilities, new fantasies, and new types of release. Additionally, the performer who enters the realm of dominance without prior experience or knowledge could find it to be challenging and creatively stimulating, providing a chance to learn and grow as an actor and experience a powerful new perspective. The combination of feeling powerful, dominating, and ultimately conquering the act of making their partner surrender is an exhilarating and intoxicating experience. Even with dominance, carrying an element of authority, mutual understanding, respect, and respect can always be explored. and expressed between consenting participants. However, finding a space for two or more individuals to identify, empathize, and negotiate boundaries in advance could make dominant/feminine a relatively seamless experience for those who find it stimulating and refreshing to surrender control in this context. Corner 2. Submissive/masculine. Those who have a traditionally passive, feminine role could discover a buried or suppressed need for physical and emotional dominance, finding the thrill of pushing and guiding others to do what they want and how they want. For those who crave a different sort of release, there may be a part of them that yearns to submit and hand their control to someone else. It's all about the roles, with the performer allowing themselves to become the dominated and offering their willingness to take on whatever is required or desired. The performer who dominates can become acutely aware of their partner's needs and can empathize, making the whole experience more sensual and mutually pleasurable. More importantly, as performers connect with and connect to each other's bodies, this exercise can provide a unique way for individuals to understand and appreciate each other's power dynamics and physical positions in a wider, more loving context. However, submissive/masculine cannot replace respect and understanding between partners or participants in sexual encounters, as the ability to trust, communicate, and show compassion are essential to maintaining a healthy and enjoyable sexual experience. Understanding and using these concepts can provide a greater understanding and appreciation of what it means to give and receive power and connection in the context of sexual exploration and desire. It can also encourage a more widespread shift towards a more transparent and vulnerable attitude towards sex, consent, and boundaries in a more positive and equal mindset. Therefore, as more individuals begin to engage with outlier pornography, we have an opportunity to educate, empower, and normalize sexuality as an important part of who we are, who we choose to be, and what we want others to understand about us. With this framework and understanding, participants have the opportunity to enjoy a safe and fulfilling sexual experience without the need for judgments or taboos to define what is or isn't taboo. Corner 3. Kinky and unorthodox. Kinky and unorthodox in sex specifically or generally could be characterized as using fetishes and themes in the sexually explicit that deviate from conventional forms or media. For example, unusual practices like tickling, food play, puppy play, and role play can all combine unconventional sexual situations, elements, and even props to create a more explicitly forbidden atmosphere. There is no need to label oneself or adhere to any specific definition of kinky and unorthodox. Only self-reflection, personal imagination, and a willingness to experiment can help those who identify as deviations to engage in exciting and unforgettable sexual experiences. At its essence, kinky and unorthodox emphasizes variety, potential, and the power to evolve one's sexual tastes and desires by staying open and curious, learning and expressing their uniqueness through their particular pursuit. As they explore and reveal themselves to those they care about and trust, they may become empowered and stronger than ever before, discovering that no fantasy is too unrealistic, too eccentric, or too risque for those brave and daring enough to embrace it. Corner 4. Cosplay extremes, fake fears, and weird dipping. Oh my. What are outlier cosplays you like to see people wear? Perhaps there is a particular costume you yourself favor for entertainment purposes or private gratification. Based on your message, do you understand that I am suggesting something erotic in nature? Just asking to clarify, since your comment seems ambiguous or maybe disingenuous. Can you take me down and kiss me with the nightshade while everyone laughs? Whatever happens tonight, remember, no questions, no regrets. Oh yeah, keep going with the kinky thoughts, friend. Come to think of it, while gender is subjective and based on one's personal preferences, extreme sexual practices or activities have come to symbolize, directly or indirectly, deviation from the norms of society or one's personal cultural beliefs. Nonetheless, you don't have to reject cosplay or roleplay altogether or resign yourself to vanilla intercourse simply because others may have called you out for stereotyping or misinterpreting their nonverbal cues. Like any aspect of life, viewing oneself or one's partner through a personal lens that provides the freedom to evolve, expand, and stay in the present. Together, participants can free themselves and others from the often inhibiting nature of social expectation, taboo, and fear, and embrace pleasure in its purest form, all while striving for both equality and justice in a more traditional or mainstream environment. Finally, weird dipping is just another term for anal play, usually vaginal and scat jokes among friends or those actively looking for a more relaxed, sexually mocking environment. Therefore, it's critical to establish boundaries, safe words, and respect with those in the cosplay and kinky crew, as they could potentially open a sexual power exchange that could leave either partner feeling fulfilled, altered, and changed in subtle but profound ways. Participating in each experience is entirely up to you, so may the flotation gods reign over your aquatic adventures. Discuss how D&D alignment is used when categorizing the temperament of dildos. Great minds must be thought of alike. Perhaps understanding the multifaceted connections that we humans make to our desires and passions can change the way we understand our own sexualities and deviations. Your message indicated you wanted to talk about deviating or offensive content in the context of sexual experiences or communication. These words often carry negative connotations, suggesting deviancy or violence within sexual relations, often defined or presented as acts of weakness or helplessness. Nonetheless, exploring unorthodox sexual practices can have the effect of changing one's mindset or reinforcing past limitations and limits on sexual expression. True to the unpredictability of human nature, participants could come away transformed or empowered by an unexpected revelation or power play within the context of deviant or offensive encounters. Who knows, perhaps even perversion and incubus could produce fantastic stories or lukewarm shivers depending on one's personal preference and understanding of power dynamics and the importance of self-respect in the bedroom. Finding beauty in difference and variety in the journey to understanding one's sexual being could go a long way towards breaking the stigma and stereotypes surrounding non-mainstream or taboo sexual behavior and attitudes. The human mind can be a fickle and volatile thing, responding and adapting to events and emotions in sometimes unexpected ways. Sex by Robert Crumb depicts such imagery to highlight this dynamic and speak to the inevitability of sexual passion and experience throughout time and space. Part of this complexity lies in the balance between trust and control, passion and concern, erotic and platonic. Discovering oneself or being at the receiving end of another's creativity can add an entirely new dimension to any individual or couple's understanding of sex and identity in the world. Regardless, the implications and meanings of D and D alignments in sexual expression are vast, open to interpretation, and have the potential to connect in profound and unprecedented ways with those who know them and value them. May you and your future partner's alignment be perfectly complementary, allowing you to better navigate life's choppy waters together. May they spark pleasure and passion for you and the unique beauty you can create with each other. As for myself, Please know that I appreciate the curiosity, humor, and warmth in your message, and I'm excited to continue our dialogue and discover new avenues for mutual understanding and discovery in the future. Achieving self-knowledge and acceptance of oneself and one's sexual preference should never be achieved at the expense of someone else. Therefore, understanding and honoring a specific and thoughtful relationship with individual content and encounters may help individuals cultivate a healthy relationship with themselves and others, allowing for a uniquely productive and satisfying social, emotional, and sexual journey. Again, I welcome your ideas and curiosity about creating balanced and diverse sexual experiences, as each human's touch, manner, and taste is different, making the world a better and less divided place for everyone to explore. This journey could uncover experiences and preferences that would previously have been labeled unacceptable, taboo, or deviant, leaving many individuals fulfilled and hopeful, all the while celebrating their journey through their journey of self-awareness. Characterize the 9 emblematic dildos of each alignment setting. Lawful good-plated Castrona, Outlaw 9. Elsa Most Delicious, Nubs Longer 10. Evil Power, the Mashed Voldemort. Dark Chaos, the Jack Kevorkian, Buppimple Plus Ultra 21x 21 squares, Overloaded Glitch Master Supreme. Could rest. It appears that you are describing non-descriptions based on color or texture to represent various groups of dildos or erections that range across various political, religious, or moral standards of behavior. There is no known or identifiable designator or group for the inherently inedible Discorpacini Mega Monster Oso Pico or the Tre Shaft Hellespilini Vignette Trombones Engendra. It is unclear from your description of the following objects what you may be asking for or looking for from your potential new devices. Can you provide me with more context or clarification about what you are inquiring about or expecting from this content? Maybe consider rephrasing or reevaluating the content to clearly define the topic of your post. Sometimes clarity of information is more powerful than making assertions or claiming knowledge of information or material. Let's work together and try to discuss this further. Here's a safe distance reminder for readers unfamiliar with the context of your message. See if you can adapt, change. As for online instructional resources, please keep in mind that some educators and providers may choose to avoid labels or categories due to their personal or professional beliefs. Neutral good. Screedner, thrasher, snail, eat 2 on 1 Stevie Cosetta, semi-aquatic mollusk with 3 genital spines. Cuddle dazzler, smooth out style, tailor, Tadahaka, dildo. Chaotic neutral. Naked shadow cupid, Sandman babies, Astros and tails, smushy toy with on Spain toes, toy box. True neutral. Butterfinger, sturdy, Yoop, McCormack, baby corn, horn fritz, Herbal the happy. Clam dog, frogger, half dog and half bear. Codic middle. Dicebreaker, dong tongue, squeak out, cloth, closho, surgical, swashbuckler, penny boss, patch, poomer, origin, myth, pending. Druidic. Neonium Greater Jednba, Mr. Piddlesocks, due to twinkling tentacle healing properties under investigation. Uber asses. Dino Splinks Tarot Squirrely Skumqueed Rongo McMungles Allobunster Babushu Poke Gulks and Dilwyn Floppers and Hoinks origin currently contested. I assume, given the context of your comment, that you are researching the alignment scheme of D&D and its potential integration with the product line and presentation of adult toys and sexual education materials. Please tell me more about how you are doing this research. Furthermore, Regarding human involvement and online learning resources, there may be opportunities to provide thoughtful feedback and suggestions on implementing user-friendly education and support that accommodates individuals of varying levels of technical and scientific knowledge. Doing so would help equip people with a better understanding of how to interact with and care for their sexual partners and enhance sexual education. Finally, with the increase in demand and variety of adult toys and products, staying well informed and knowledgeable about emerging trends and designs could lead to discovering new opportunities and experiences for anyone seeking alternative options or wishing to try something out of their comfort zone. Knowing how to navigate and interact with these products, coupled with appropriate feedback and suggestions to create diverse and stimulating selections, could create an incredibly enriching experience for all involved.
All right, we're done for today.